Welcome. This is Barry Jones from Angelic Wisdom, and we're here for our weekly angel reading for August 15th through the 22nd, 2022. So I'd just like to begin by welcoming everyone back to this weekly series and to also welcome anyone who might be new to the Angelic Wisdom community. I've really been enjoying connecting and reading some of the comments that people have left, especially from the live um, chat that I did last week. It was impromptu. I didn't announce it. I didn't even really know I was going to go for it. It was sort of just it was Lionsgate energy, August 8th, and I was just very, very inspired by all of that. And so I just decided, you know what, no more preparation. So there will be some others, so just be on the lookout when I might pop up for another one of these live chats. I was trying to think of a time that I think this one I did around 5 o'clock. I'm hoping it would be, close enough to time where some people might be just getting off work, or I might even try 6. But in my own life, I have to certain things like I have to do around be finished up by 7. So 5 is probably the best time for me on a weekday if I just decide to do that. But you can always catch it at any other time, and I may play around with other times as well. But anyway, thank you all for sharing. I heard from some really interesting stories and some people who've been watching for a very long time. Um, just chime in, and I've never heard from before, and so it was really, really wonderful. Also, let me just, before I get into anything else, I just want to remind you all to subscribe. It's an important thing that helps my channel. And also, select the all notification bell. Again, I do really appreciate the messages and comments that you leave. So please do that. Please remember to like the videos. That helps as well. And also, if some people over the years, and I've been a little hesitant in doing it, but have asked to make some kind of contributions or donations to my channel. So I'm gonna leave my PayPal link in the description, so that if you feel guided to do that, to support the channel in that way, it'll be most appreciated. Oh boy, I didn't know that was going to come out. And also, like I said, I don't always get a chance to read your comments, but I get it. I don't always get a chance to respond to your comments, but I do read them all, and I really appreciate them. Thank you, Rebecca, for sharing that story about how your one of the angel readings in 2018, you said, and she was listening, and um, something I said in the reading about the voice of God being inspiration, and then she saw an owl, some kind of rare owl, and then right after that, she still had me playing, and she heard me say something about how birds are messengers, and so that was really cool, and how it set up for her whole retreat that she did, I think, on spirit animals. So that was just incredible. That was so inspiring. And if any of you ever have like stories like that, oh my God, please share, because it's just really, really encouraging. And it will also be very inspirational for others to see how, because we all have our spiritual practice, and your spiritual practice consists of, so many different things, right? But maybe you journal, maybe you meditate, maybe create, and stories like this are also sort of an example of how the miracles of our spiritual practice, the miracles of our wanting to be aware, self-aware, and how these synchronicities occur can be so inspiring. So the comments just aren't for, it's not for my ego to be boosted, but it's really there for you to support and help one another. Um, I was also thinking too that it's also, I'd like it to be a platform too where we uplift each other and uplift each other's um, things that you're doing. So if you have some kind of project that you're working on, you know, send me a note, or leave it in the comments, so that I can let people know about what you're doing, okay, as well as some of the things that I will try to be doing as well. So yeah, so you just never know what new things might unfold, partnerships might unfold from that. And yeah, and also if you'd like to get an angel reading with me, feel free to contact me at theangelschool.com, which is my current website. My future website would be theangelicwisdom.org, just in case you're watching it in the future. My web designer just contacted me this week. It's like, hey, where are we? So I got to get on that. And so yeah, but let's keep all that in mind. Also, oh, and of course you can select the the first time promotional angel reading, which is my discounted hourly reading. So you can choose that unlimited, because this is my 10th anniversary year, so I'm just a gift to you. But there are also other offers that are available there. I think everybody knows by now I'm not stingy with my time, so choose what is best for you. Okay, and now let's just, I just want to talk a little bit about that Lionsgate energy, because something I learned from it, and just wanted to make sure that you all are informed. So when we did that, a little meditation at the end of the live chat, which I called the front porch, and I called the front porch because, I always heard wisdom shared on not just my grandmother's front porch, but everybody's front porch. In my community where I grew up, that was always where wisdom was shared. So I wanted to have sort of a front porch like atmosphere, where I shared angelic wisdom with you on these sort of pop-up live chats. And so what came up in the meditations that we went to the Pyramid of Giza, that portal, the Sphinx sort of showed up and connected in with our third eye, and it had a violet, sort of a silver, gold violet flame, and with diamond light in it. And so what that did, I noticed for me, is the Sphinx is sort of the watcher, right? But also holds the secrets. And what it did, I realized, is that it shed light on the secrets within our subconscious. And so I had an experience where, as I continued to work with it through the 11th, where it just, one day when I connected into the creator source, it just lit me up from within, and it was like the light just was pushing everything out, releasing everything. And so what I wanted to just give you a little heads up about it is that be aware that those things that we suppress will be revealed or come out, so that, like, I noticed I didn't have any more inhibitions on that day. So just be aware of this energy, because we're looking for clarity, we're looking for creativity that's just sort of unblocked. So, we create excuses and things to not be open to the opportunities that are coming to us, of the guidance that we're receiving that's nudging us. And so you may have experienced, or might still, I don't know how long the side effects could proceed beyond that time frame. I just want you to be aware of that in some way. All right, so let's take a deep breath. And boy, you know what they're showing me. And I can't tell if I'm seeing the wheels of a plane, and it looks like it's about to touch down, is what I'm seeing. But at first, for some of you, there might be something that's you're launching, or something that's about to touch the tarmac. And this could be literal for some of you, where you're traveling or returning home um, from your vacation period. I was just seeing the deity, the Hindu goddess Parvati, and this card from the Yogic Path Oracle. So for the just let you see, this is an amazing deck. It's very beautiful, and this is the card, and the picture. The guidebook has a great picture here, and it says the goddess of devotion, love, and yoga. So I'm just going to, I don't know, I'm going to take our time and read this, a little bit of this, or maybe most of it. It says when you pull Parvati, when you've taken immense action toward becoming your highest self. In Hindu mythology, Parvati was in love with unattainable Shiva, who was deep in the mountains practicing yoga and detached from the material world. She knew he needed the feminine to bring him down to earth, but he was totally inaccessible. Instead of begging and pleading, Parvati decided to become her highest self and seek enlightenment through yoga. Her family objected, saying women cannot become yogis, but she headed to the mountains anyway, where she stood in a frigid stream, balancing on one leg for uncountable months or years. Eventually, Shiva felt her immense energy and fell in love with her because of her strength and determination. Parvati represents commitment to practice, unbreakable willpower, and the power of self-transformation. Continue your journey toward enlightenment. Now, this is if it was upright. The reverse meaning would be like a body with no spinal cord. You may have lost your grounding and become loose, floating in every direction. What is it you are committed to? A person with no commitments is like a wave with no direction. It's crucial to always have direction in life, and that direction should always be pointing inward. Spiritual development is a journey that unfolds only when you begin to walk the path. Recommit yourself to your daily asana and meditation practice for 30 days and watch your life slowly rebuild its spinal cord. So, when when I saw that sort of touchdown, and I was thinking about, just when I was reading that, how she had to really commit herself in order for Shiva to be able to connect with her. And I may be reading this in a very different way than maybe what you're thinking right now. I'm just seeing the word confession. So there is when they write this word to me, this is about being honest with yourself. Sometimes they're writing, it takes a lot of courage to not only listen to what you are receiving, from guidance, divine guidance, but oh boy, also to be honest about it. A lot of times we just tuck a lot of things away, right? So, and we're afraid of the commitment. We're afraid of that commitment. Um, they're writing the word. They wrote the word found. Um, and I just saw another word which I'm now forgetting because I went back to that one. But it feels like they were trying to say that you found something. Um, and I don't know if you found the support that you need or you're afraid, but it feels like you found something. And right now, it's about just committing to it. But in order to be able to commit, you have to be honest with yourself. Because if you don't be honest about that this is something that I feel like on one regard they want you to just say it out loud, right? Because that makes it real. It brings it into the physical experience. And it's not necessarily you have to say it to other people, especially people who will not be supportive. And maybe that's the thing that you're afraid of. You're afraid that you won't have the support behind you. Like Parvati, her family was not supporting her at all. Um, and had all of these, you know, ideas about what a woman's place was, right? That she couldn't be a yogi. So if it's something in which, you feel like it's just sort of unconventional, that it goes outside of your traditions, or if it is something that you fear that you will be isolated um, in some way, even if the people don't stop loving you and stop, talking to you, but the idea is that you will feel even more different than you already do. And they're writing the word congregation. And so there's also important for you at this time to be seeking out your kind of congregation of people of like minds. Um, it could be a group, like a spiritual group. It could be your religious communities. Um, but maybe one who's a little bit more, I guess I'm going to assume because you're talking to me, listening to me, that it's a more progressive, open-minded, um, group of people. So, make sure that you start creating, as I keep writing the word, a congregation. Find a congregation. I know that has some probably connotations, religious connotations for certain people that might be a little triggering, but they're trying to get the point across that community is important. And one of the things that religious groups do is they create a sense of community and belonging, and it is a part of that oneness energy, right? Because we're not separate from everything else. We are part of everything else, and congregations remind us of that. So it's just about finding the right congregation, right? But also, you might need to be your own right now. And that's what that confess and just saying it to yourself out loud, because it's like you create your own congregation first, meaning you validate yourself, you accept and embrace what it is that you truly have found for yourself, that you really want to be committed to, that you're passionate about, and that your soul just resonates with conviction on so many new levels. And this is the level of trust. This is the level of support. That conviction is already supported by your universal team, by your angelic team. That's what you're feeling when you feel that kind of conviction within yourself. And if you don't acknowledge it, then you will stay hidden. You will find ways to suppress by making up excuses. And this is the time now. They wrote earlier before I started, manifest. So this is a time to manifest. The energy is just right for this. We're in this Leo energy this month, um, and there's that boldness, right? So the Sphinx is, you know, like I was reading a little bit in a book. I have an Egyptian um, book and deck, and I pulled out this card from that deck, and this the Sphinx name in Egyptian is I don't know how to say it, but Rehora Makhet, and they were saying she has that connection with Sekhmet, so that there's that fierceness, right? That courage, and it's that is if you might find, because I found myself roaring at the world, and feeling very like determined, like I'm usually like non-confrontational, and I'm really afraid of that part of myself. I always have been. Like I'm sure you are too. Like you just know, like if it ever got out of control, you could do some damage in the world. But that's just the point. It is the ego is telling you that you could do damage, so stay away from it. The opposite of that is what's true. You could really transform. You could really heal. You could really solve. You could really create peace. You could create extraordinary beauty with that power. So don't sit on it at this time, right? Don't sit on it. And instead of trying to figure out what to do, let the universe show you. Let it show you. And then follow. All right, let's take a look at the archangel. And we actually have a seraphim. And this is Seraphim Seraphina. And here we got that sort of ankh here. It looks like a cross because it's very tiny from that position. And she's carrying these scrolls. And of course, this card says, be an ambassador for Earth. Build your bridge to Source. And what I'm getting about this, and remember that the Seraphim are 12th dimensional, and they sit around the throne of God in essence, right? And I don't think maybe in a literal sense, but they are that close to God, and they emit tones or sounds that carries the highest vibrational frequency of Source, God, the Supreme One, whatever you call it, Mother, Father, God. It carries that sound bite, which is sort of a download, an incredible. Think of it as almost this incredible technology, this download. It's a frequency or vibration of communication that's so vast, specific at the same time. And so they disseminate that to the archangels and angels who spread that out across the earth and the universe. And so when I see this right now, each and every one of us is being asked, our souls and our hearts. And I was seeing a heart and then an angel. And so you're a guardian angel right now. And I have a sense that this angel, and I don't know if it's a specific angel coming to you or if your guardian angel is taking on this hue, but this color might also be a part of this sound bite, right? This download and the type of message that the angel is transmitting to you, and all of your guardian angels are transmitting to you from the seraphim, from God, this so there's this rosy pink, right, energy is what I'm feeling. And I feel as though, and I just smelled one too. Oh wow, I just smelled a rose. It's so beautiful, those the smell of those pink roses. And this opens up your heart chakra. Wow, it's getting stronger and stronger. Wow. Um, and they're writing the word compassion. And they're asking you right now to be an ambassador for the earth, to be um, to be a voice, to be a um, to be a model for this incredible compassion, this love that opens hearts, not closes them. And so I get a sense that we need our gifts, are the things that are coming to us, whatever's coming to us. Maybe that's what that plane is, sort of like a bird, right? So the plane is almost like this sort of like this angelic transport. Something's coming down from heaven, and they're asking you to be open to the ways that you're. Oh, I smell these roses. Whoa, wow! Be open to the ways that they are giving you new, uh, new, new guidance about the world and your role the role that your talents and your gifts can play. Because the thing is that right now the world is focused on everything that's going wrong. We're focused on everything that's broken, and they're supposed to be that, because now that's supposed to inspire you with ideas in your heart about what needs to replace it. No, don't try to fix anything right now. We need to now lay new foundations of peace. So the old foundation is crumbling. That fear, it's crumbling, that fear base, and we need to let it crumble. Let it fall. And in the meantime, the universe is filling your hearts with such compassion and love and passion for you to really create a new foundation, to put new things in place. And these things have been within your soul. This is like the scrolls that she's carrying here. You've had, each one of you right now, this is the time for you to activate your divine blueprint. Each one of you came here, and I'm saying the word empress, right? So, what that means to me is that you're here to give birth. You're here to be, you have a prolific plan or form of expression or talents that are now ready to just create, right? Procreate and put in these new foundations. So be aware of these ideas, these weird ideas that you have, these way out there ideas that would just create a whole new system. Because the old system is dysfunctional. And you cannot when you try to fix the old system, you say things like build back better or make America great again. And you can't, the future where we're going, the golden age of peace, which does not mean that there will never be conflict or contrast, let's put it that way. There will always be contrast, because that gives us the opportunity to create. There are tools to play with, to help us to discover, to wrestle with, until we come up with something new and beautiful. And that's where you're being led right now. And don't be afraid. So if you're trying to repair your life, if you're trying to fix problems in your family or in your relationships or at your job, or you're trying to make it work, then that's the opposite of what you need to be doing. They want you to express your inner truth, express this blueprint, this divine blueprint of perfection. It is now time for us to reveal these plans, take steps to make them happen in your little corner of the world. And I guarantee you, people will start to catch on to what you're saying because they're all feeling it. Because they're all struggling to try to do the same thing. And it's not working. Okay? So, wow, where did that go? All right, let's take a look at the card for the beginning of the week. All right, we have the world card. I was about to say, okay, let's come back down to earth, but I don't think we're going to be allowed to do that. This is a card. So remember that airplane was landing. So this is indicating that something has come full circle. This is indicating a time of completion. That this is indicating that you might find yourself done with stuff, with certain things. Like, you've had enough. All right? I'm done with that. Please accept this wisdom because it is wisdom. Please accept it. You're done. Had enough of that. Time to move on. No more. All of these phrases, accept this. Accept that if you say, there's nothing else I can do here. This is not weakness. This is the universe moving your heart along, moving you to the next stage. This is usually someone who is androgynous, right? This person, and also sort of like dancing in this circle. They're dancing, meaning they're no longer struggling with the world, but they're dancing with the contrast. They're accepting it, and it's sort of this feeling of stepping into that fifth dimensional mindset, because that's what I've been trying to describe what it's like, where we have peace because we no longer struggle with it, but we dance with it. We understand that it's there for a reason, that it becomes our tools to contrast right, wrong, and all of this. It becomes our tools to that our soul uses to express its authentic self, right? So it allows you to find who you are. By knowing what you don't want, you know more clearly what you do want, if you get that understanding. But I just want a little side note that came to me about this card. I sometimes think about the major arcana, and like when we had the tower, and then like it's point out certain aspects of history, like what happened with the twin towers here, and now we're in an age where we're expressing all our sexuality, and we have the transgender community and that expansion that's been there. It's always been there, but now there's that recognition at this time frame for all the various ways of being, how we identify ourselves. And so I feel like that there's such a great connection between this card, because I would call this being typically in the traditional tarot as being sort of a transgender person. And so, I feel like the role of acceptance, once we accept, I hate to say it's not about liking, but it's the truth. Nobody asks any of us. We don't have to like what we like in terms of when we start looking at somebody else. That's none of our business. I'm just going to say it like that. Your purpose for having the ability to know what you like and don't like is for your own business. It's for your creative tools. It's for you to play with the contrast so that you can figure out who you are, who you want to be, what your truth is. It's not there for you to judge another and restrain them from being who they are. And if we do not fully embrace acceptance as a major facet of the heart of God and of love itself and of our own ability to love, then we will not be able to cross through this threshold. We will not be able to really step into a golden era of peace. or the fifth dimensional mindset. So the things in this world today that we get on our moral high ground about, we're not there for you to dig down, and get even more moral about, and whatever I'm trying to say, what I'm trying to say, right? It's there to teach you how to love. It's there to teach you how to rejoin the body of God, or the body of oneness consciousness. That's what it's there for. Don't use these tools against yourself. When you pick them up as a weapon, you use them against yourself. Because now you perpetuate karma. So if whomever you hurt, then that becomes the karma that you become attached to, which withholds you from having true peace within yourself and in your soul. I hope I'm not preaching at you. I hope you don't take it the wrong way, but it's interesting now this card comes up. And the Eight of Swords. So we got to look at, like, how are we, and what's interesting, this card, and I don't know if I'm sure there's another, but this deck, a lot of these creatures aren't like beautiful, they're cute and adorable, but this one clearly here is a beauty, right? And so the thing I get about this card is we're trapping our true beauty. We're trapping it in the ways that, because we will not embrace acceptance. We're not willing to accept everything. We want to waste our energy saying this is right and this is wrong. This is right and this is wrong. You are right and you are wrong. And of course the big one, you yourself, you're so bad. You should be so ashamed, and we need to stop doing that. Because what we're doing, the world of chaos that we're witnessing right now, the reason is because what you're seeing, if you expand your vision, what we're witnessing is our collective resistance to change, our collective resistance to an era of peace that is coming. That's what that plane is. It's a coming. If you're ready for it or not, it's a coming. Okay? And so therefore, you've got to stop making excuses within yourself that is entrapping you, your inner beauty, your gift of love, all of your truth, all of the expressions of yourself that you can't validate because you are restricted by your own judgment, the harshness of it. And we're here now. The universe is, I feel like it's saying, hey, this is an opportunity to get off of this three-dimensional blueprint and get onto that fifth dimensional blueprint where everything will flourish. Not to say there won't be challenges, but there'll be more. You'll see them like as opportunities to help you to refine your inner excellence. But we got to stop. We got to stop trying to fight it. And look at the water here. We have to flow. So surrender is very important. If you don't know what to do, surrender. And you see how the water will find its path. It'll find a way to free you. You just have to go with the flow. Surrender to the universe. Surrender to oneness, and it will lead you away. And now look at this. And what you see is that when you surrender, there is a rapid descension. So here's that plane landing. So there's something that you need to let go. There's something that you need to unleash. There's something that you need to stop trying to control. And what you can't control is this divine blueprint that is awakening within you. The clarity and the impulses of the divine who is sharing with you now the abundance that you hold within you, your true purpose, your true joy and pleasure, what you've been all seeking wondering, what is my purpose? And now it is flowing. And you can see that when you flow with that river, you flow, everything flows in the same direction. So here, it's all jagged and everything's going against, but here, everything's going together. It's a parallel motion. So you and the universe will sync up and things will manifest quickly before you. All right. So the card, and I think this is actually the card for Monday's reading. I forgot to do Tuesday on Friday, so I have to get on that today. But so now this is a card talking about walking away, So this is where I was talking about a little bit earlier about if you get this sense of no more, enough, I'm done with it. This is amplifying this world energy. You're ready to move on. You're ready to step into a whole new paradigm. And they're saying they're writing that word congregation again. So this may be about changing your congregation, changing the people in your inner circle. You may have to step away from them. It doesn't mean forever, but it definitely means for now, or the relationship or the job, but whatever it is, your soul is calling you. And it is not that the soul is trying to tell you what you're doing is wrong. It's not saying that. It's that your soul is saying that it's time. Your time has come. The time to activate your divine blueprint of perfection, whatever that gift, that talent is, or that relationship, it's time for you to experience this new level of oneness. All right. So I think the key word here is acceptance in order to really have all of this activate. And that's what that confession really meant. When you're honest with yourself and you're open, you get it out of your system, you hear it, then you can really move forward with a sense of inner awareness and truth. All right, so I send you lots of love and angel blessings, and have a beautiful, beautiful week. God bless.